I was sitting here listening to some of the speeches that were being made before. I heard Representative Alberts talk about the tool and die shops that are around UTC. I am sure Representative Alberts knows some of them by name. But when we talk about tool and die shops, Mr. Speaker, I am the tool and die shop. I work in a tool and die shop. I live in a tool and die shop. I get there to work in the morning at 7 o'clock, and sometimes I do not leave until midnight. That's the fact that we as small businesses do. We know the circumstances, we know the problems. At one time or another, Mr. Speaker, in our tool and die shop, about 60% of our businesses was derived from Connecticut businesses, from Connecticut foundations, from institutions that were here in the state of Connecticut. Most of them have left. And right now, we do business with companies in South Carolina and Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Businesses that were here in Connecticut moved down south, and they have not been able to find the skilled workforce yet. So they're still coming to us. They're still giving us business, even though they are no longer here. God help us when they develop the skilled workforce down in Kentucky, South Carolina, and North Carolina. They will not come back to us. Mr. Cafero spoke, Representative Cafero spoke about the company in Waterbury that laid off 120 employees. I know the company, I know the people, I know every single one of them. I used to visit them every other day. They were my customers. And the person who laid them off is my friend, Anthony, who lives in Representative Zalaski's district in Southernton. He said that I'm going to go home now and tell my wife that I do not have a job, because we can no longer compete right here in the state of Connecticut. And they closed their doors. Representative Cafero talked about the employer who sat down and gave pink slips to his employees and was crying because these people are families. What Representative Cafero did not say is that employer could be me and is me. Did not mention any names. But I tell you, Mr. Speaker, that were Lou and Henry and Caesar that I had to terminate a few months ago. And right now I have not been able to bring them back. Representative Candelario talked about people cutting their own checks, their own salaries. I have done that. In order for me to keep things going within the company, I cut my own salary. My brother cut his own salary. Mr. Speaker, it is now 9:25, and I tell you with a lot of pain that as of midnight this evening, our employees were going to be without dental coverage because the company could not afford to pay it anymore. And I swear, I can tell you that this morning my brother walked into my office and said, please don't cut the dental coverage, somehow we'll manage. And we're paying for it. The company is paying for dental coverage for our employees 100%. The employees are not sharing a thing. With our company, our little small tool and die shop, we have health insurance that is second to none, that the employees pay almost minimum to it, just as a token to say that they are sharing the cost. And we have been trying to keep it and keeping it. And these past few months have been the most miserable lost months in my experience in businesses. And Mr. Speaker, I've been in business in various capacities for 35 years. I have never seen it that bad. Never seen it that bad. Companies are moving, our employers are closing. Within our own area, within 1 mile radius of our facility, 3 of my customers closed in this 1 year alone. These are people who were giving me work, which means I am not getting work from them. My people are not working. My people are not going out shopping. My people are not going out to restaurants to spend their money. And this will be the ripple effect when manufacturing suffers. And manufacturing is suffering. And businesses are suffering in Connecticut. What are we doing now? We are continuing to increase taxes on them. Small businesses, large businesses, cigarette smokers, people who are buying liquors, fees on everything. The realtors, real estate, the landscaper, the one-man shop, the landscaper, we are increasing fees on him or her. We cannot do that. I receive, just like all of you and many of you, hundreds of emails and letters from agencies and social programs and that say to me, do not cut, do not cut, do not cut, because we need to survive. And I don't think anybody, I care about the vulnerable and the needy and the underprivileged as much as anybody in this chamber care about them. And you know what I tell them? I don't tell them what they want to hear. I don't tell them, no, I will not cut for you. I tell them the truth. And I say to them, within your own home, have you had to reduce your spendings? And all of them say yes. And I say to them, well, then we'll have to do what we can at the level of the funding of 2007 in order for us to survive, all of us to survive, the state of Connecticut to survive. And if we don't do that, we are going to come back with more tax increases, and more companies are going to be out of business, and who's going to be paying taxes here? These are the problems that we are facing. And sooner or later, we must step up to the plate and say, we can no longer afford to put more taxes on people and businesses and hard-working people in our state. I gathered my people at work the other day, and I told them, I know that business is slow. We are running hand to mouth. By the time an order comes in, we shove it to the floor so that we can ship it and invoice it. And that's when I tell my people, even though business is slow, we have to be efficient. We have to do our job to the best of our ability in order for us to save costs so that we can continue to be in business. And my message to the state of Connecticut is, just like each one of us in our own home is efficient, and every small business in the state of Connecticut is efficient, the state of Connecticut itself, our employees, the agencies of the state of Connecticut, from the governor all the way down, we must operate in an efficient fashion so that we can save money, so that we can come out of this recession that we are facing. We have no other way but to do it. We cannot get our way out of recession by increasing taxes. It's as simple as this. We're going to get further and further into the red. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative.